What's up, Richard Timmers here. Now, here is my official top 10 disappointing films of the year. Now, this is not my top 10 worst films of the year. That will be in a separate video, obviously. But these are 10 films that I was actually either interested or looking forward for that just sort of didn't work and was really disappointing. So, here is my official top 10 disappointing films of the year. Number 10 is After the Hunt. Now, I was actually looking forward to see this one because, it's directed by Luca Guadagnino. His last couple of movies were pretty good, like Call Me By Your Name, Bones and Aura, uh, the movie Queer he did, Challengers. So I had some hopes for this one. You had Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield. I really like Io DeBerry. But this thing just was completely boring. Didn't care for the characters here. Didn't care for the dialogue. I mean, the performances by Julia Roberts and Andrew Garfield was decent, but other than that, the movie itself just fell flat. And it's a shame too because Luca has put out good stuff, but hopefully that new movie he has with Andrew Garfield, Artificial, hopefully that will be better, but we'll see. Number 9 is Wolfman. I was really looking forward to see Wolfman, because it's directed by Leah Whannell, who gave us The Invisible Man, and I thought the trailers looked pretty decent, but man, this thing just was not all that good. It wasn't all that scary at all. The effects wasn't really all that great either. It's just not a good one. I mean, I would say it was a little better than the Benicio del Toro one. I would give it that, but that's not really saying much. I hope whatever Leah Whannell's next film is, hopefully that will be better, but we'll see. Number 8 is another horror film I had some high hopes for, Until Dawn. I really thought, I'm not gonna lie, I really thought Until Dawn could have been pretty decent. Directed by David F. Sandberg, who I thought gave a good job with stuff like Shazam, Lights Out, Annabelle Creation, but this thing just fumbled. It just wasn't all that scary at all. The deaths is actually some of the better parts of it, but yeah, it's just not really that good. The performances isn't great. Thank God, poor Odessa Zion, followed this up with one of the best films of the year, which is Mars Supreme. So, and as well as I Love LA. Like she's pretty good with the right script there. Anyway, coming in at number 7 is The Electric State. The Electric State, I was really looking forward to see this because it was directed by the Russo brothers. You got Millie Bobby Brown. I do like Chris Pratt, but this movie just fell flat. Terrible visuals. To be honest, this is probably the worst Russo brothers movie they directed. Even You Man Dupree was actually not so bad. And I actually did not mind Other Great Men, but yeah, not so great. I just hope once Stranger Things is over, hopefully Millie Bobby Brown has a better project, gets better projects down the line. But who knows? Number 6 is Die My Love. Now, this is of course the new film from Lynn Ramsey, whose other previous movies, like We Need to Talk About Kevin, You Were Never Really Here, I thought was pretty decent. I've of course heard great things about this. Like a lot of people rave about it and whatever. I thought the trailer looked decent, so I still decided to give it a go. I still have no idea what the heck was going on with this thing. It was just so boring. It was all over the place. Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson was great, but that was really about it. Nothing about it was all that fascinating here. And yeah, Lynn Ramsey has put out some good stuff, but to be honest, to me, this is probably the worst film she put out. So yeah, it's definitely one of the few movies where critics like, but I didn't. So yeah. All right. Number 5 is another film I actually had some hopes for because it was a return of a acting legend. Number 5 is Anemone. Of course, this was the film starring Daniel Day-Lewis returning to screen, directed by his son. I had some hopes for this one. I even thought it could have gotten Daniel Day-Lewis another Oscar nomination and whatever. He's not even getting hardly nothing for this. I guess it shows just because Daniel Day-Lewis is in something doesn't automatically mean he's going to get an Oscar nomination. I mean, he did not get one for Nine. He did not get one for Ballad of Jack and Bob and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, hey, Daniel Day-Lewis is still the man. I mean, I am hoping get to see. I do hope he gets to do another film down the line, but who knows. Number 4 is The Alto Knights. I had some really hopes for this one. Because it starred Robert De Niro. It was a gangster movie with De Niro playing two parts. directed by Rayman director Barry Levinson from the writers of Goodfellas. I thought this could have been awesome. It was literally one of my anticipated films of last year, and so I thought it could have been cool. This is one of the worst gangster movies I've seen since that John Travolta Gotti movie. It is god awful. One of the worst De Niro performances in my opinion. And I love De Niro. He's like one of my favorite actors of all time. But even Robert De Niro playing two characters in this was a nutshell. It's just not so good. Definitely one of the worst gangster movies there is. Next to Gotti. I do love the gangster genre, but not every good, not every gangster genre like movie fellas you get a Gotti. So yeah. All right, number 3 is Captain America: Brave New World. This actually became the first time I truly dislike a MCU film. Like there has been MCU movies that I didn't like truly dislike, despite me finding them disappointing. Like I will say, this is probably, I will say this is probably MCU's my least favorite MCU movie since Door of the Dark World. I didn't hate Door of the Dark World, but I was a little underwhelmed with that one. But yeah, this just wasn't all that great. I mean, Harrison Ford was okay, but the effects of the Red Hulk wasn't so great. I really didn't care much for the story here. And I do like Anthony Mackie, but even he wasn't good enough to save this one too. So yeah, it just wasn't that great of a film to be honest. So thank God MCU bounced back with Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Daredevil, and at least they're getting some better stuff. We'll see how great Avengers Doomsday and all that will be. Number 2 is Jurassic World Rebirth. I was really excited for this new Jurassic World film because it was for the same writer of the original Jurassic Park film. You had Scarlett Johansson coming in. The director of the creator was attached. I had some major hopes for this one, and it just fumbled. It really shows that the Jurassic World franchise, even though despite this one not being so good, whenever they do a new Jurassic World film, I'll definitely be excited for that one because I just love seeing dinosaurs attack people. Come on, who doesn't love seeing dinosaurs, roam around, right? But yeah, I just hope whenever we get the next Jurassic World film, I am hoping it'll be better because I feel like they really rushed this one out. Really, they really shot the thing pretty too quick. They rushed it out really fast, so maybe that's why it stumbled. Maybe they'll take their time with the next one. Maybe that will be better, but who knows? And my number 1 most disappointing film of the year is Ella McKay. Now, this was also in my top 100 anticipated films of 2025. I was really excited for this because it was directed by James L. Brooks, director of Terms of Endearment, broadcast news. And I had some major hopes for this one. You had Emma McKay, you had Jamie Lee Curtis, Woody Harrelson, Albert Brooks, Ira DeBerry, which not a good year for her, by the way. I had some hopes for this one, but it just wasn't all that good. It was not that funny at all. It was a little boring at times too. Terrible dialogue. I mean, to be honest, I think this is the worst James L. Brooks movie he's put out. And, I even did not mind that one he did with Reese Witherspoon and Paul Rudd. How do you know? That one's actually far better. But yeah, I hope he does another film, and hopefully that will be better. But who knows? I feel like Ella McKay to him is what Megalopolis was to Francis Ford Coppola. It's a shame that we have 2 living legends coming back to make a film that just fumbled. So it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, that is of course pretty much it. Here is my quick rundown: 10 After the Hunt, 9 Wolfman, 8 Until Dawn, 7 The Electric State, 6 Die My Love, 5 Automone. I keep mispronouncing that. Number 4 The Alto Knights, 3 Captain America: Brave New World, 2 Jurassic World Rebirth, and number 1 is Ella McKay. Now there's a couple of honorable mentions, or dishonorable mentions, I should say. Love Hurts with Ke Kwan. I was actually interested in that, but that sort of humbled. Let's see. The Washington Scheme. I had some hopes for that one, but wasn't too big with that one here. Let's see what else we got here. The Pickup with Eddie Murphy was pretty disappointing. That Him with Marlon Wayans, that was pretty disappointing. A Big Bold Beautiful Journey with Margot Robbie, Colin Farrell. I had some hopes for that one. That wasn't all that good. I had some hopes for Tron Ares. Let's see what else we got here. I was disappointed with Odessa because it was for the same director of Patty Cakes, and I had some hopes for that because of that alone. Russ, I had some hopes for, but that was so great. Mountainhead with Steve Carell. Play Dirty, I had some hopes for. Ballad of a Small Player, also with Colin Farrell. So some disappointing stuff this year. But let me let you guys. What were some of your most disappointing films of 2025? Draw comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simon Steiner.